Northeast Mississippi Community College proudly presents the longest-running community college podcast in the state of Mississippi, Tiger Talk. Tune in each week as Northeast President Dr. Ricky Ford talks about all things Northeast, from academics to career and tech to workforce and all things in between. It's Tiger Talk. And now, Northeast President Dr. Ricky G. Ford.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Tiger Talk with President Dr. Ricky Ford and myself, Liz Calvery. We can't wait to share with you all of the great things going on at Northeast Mississippi Community College. President Ford, what are the key legislative priorities that our Mississippi Community College presidents will advocate for during this legislative session? And how do you see these priorities addressing the needs of not only our students, but also the whole Northeast community?
Thank you, Liz. And that is a great question concerning the appropriation request that we will be trying to lobby for this year in the legislature. Every year, the presidents and the community colleges get together in a legislative conference, usually in the month of June. And we sit down and we look at all of our priorities and we look at the things that we need to ask from our legislative representatives each year as for the things that we need. And of course, this year, our number one priority was salary improvements, because we've got to continue to improve the salary of community college employees. Back in 10 years ago, community college employees were somewhere in between K-12 instructors and senior college instructors, but now that's changed a little bit, and actually community college instructors get paid less than a high school or K-12 instructors get paid. Plus, there's a requirement for an additional education, so you got to have a master's degree in any subject in order to teach. And K-12, you got to have a degree and you got to pass the praxis in certain areas. So there's a higher degree that's required to teach in college, and yet we're still getting paid less than what the K-12 instructors get paid when they start. So this is something that's always been a very important item for us as presidents in the community college system, because we feel like that we need to be able to offer our instructors a great pay package in order for this is good for recruiting purposes, for recruiting good instructors that play a very vital role in students that are actually going into the workforce. So we're trying our best to make sure that we get as much money as we can for our instructors. And so we're requesting a 5% increase, which is for the entire state of Mississippi and all the community colleges is $23 million increase. And then another topic is just basic operational cost. It costs a lot of money to operate an institution of higher learning. At Northeast Mississippi Community College, we have a budget of about $34 million per year. We have a lot of things that we have to replace each year. For example, this past year, we replaced 2 HVAC units in 2 of our buildings, and it was a little bit over $4 million. So you see that money's got to come from somewhere. The bulk of our generated money that we have comes from tuition cost, what students pay to come to Northeast. And with the students qualifying more and more for scholarships, then our scholarship budget is increasing tremendously. And the amount of income that we're getting from our tuition generated funds are getting smaller. So we're depending more and more upon the state to help us there. So for basic operational cost for a 3.4% inflationary factor, we're requesting $14 million there. And then our career and technical education, our CTE Advantage program, we're asking for an increase of $5 million to be divided up among 15 community colleges. And this is among 15 community colleges. This is not just Northeast. This is among 15 community colleges throughout the state. And this CTE Advantage program allows us to buy much needed equipment that all of our CTE programs need, and it's very, very expensive when you buy a piece of equipment. We have some pieces of equipment that cost in excess of $1 million. So you see how important this is here, that we continue to move forward, continue to move the needle, and to have the top-notch equipment that is very up-to-date and modern for our students to use. And when they graduate, they'll be able to go out and perform on the machines and things that are available in the industry. And then we're asking for total general support requested increases of $42 million. And then capital improvements, repair, and renovation funding request. As I mentioned a moment ago, it costs a lot of money to keep some of our institutions, to keep all of our institutions of higher learning up. When you're talking about 15 community colleges, and here in Northeast we have well over 1 million square footage of buildings that we have to maintain. And some of our buildings are getting very, very old, so we have a lot of repairs and a lot of renovations that we have to do. For example, we're having to renovate one of our dorms, a wood hall. The price tag on that's going to be about $1 million. So that's a great deal of money. And then we have several projects that we're wanting to build out in order for us to provide for our students the things that they need. For example, our CTE facilities that we currently have are very inadequate and we're full. We have waiting lists for our students to get into programs, and we're seeking funding to build out a facility that we've already purchased. We're seeking money there to build that program out, and then a couple of other projects that we're wanting to improve on too. So our total legislative priorities this year, all 15 community colleges, our request and we're asking for is $142 million. And when you look at that and you say, wow, that's a lot of money. But you're looking at a $7 billion budget. So this is just a minor piece of what comprises of that $7 billion budget statewide. But these are things that are needed within our community college system. These are things that our students need in order to be productive and be successful when they graduate from our schools. So it's very, very important that we provide the opportunities and the funding and the resources and the training that our students need when they graduate and they go to work, that they can be successful, whether they're going to work at our industries, whether they're going to work in our hospitals, or whether they're transferring on to a university. But their success at all of those places in the workforce and in the other higher education institutions, their success depends on what kind of job we do. So it's very important that we maintain that level of excellence that we so desperately need.
And now for everyone's favorite part of the week, can you give us an update on the Northeast news?
So we have a lot of things still going on here in Northeast. This is the beginning of the spring 2025 semester. And we want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. We've got a lot going on. We've done a lot of work and upgrades with our Wi-Fi, upgrades in our dormitories. We've come mainly installation of new security cameras in Whitehall, and this is providing campus security and improved safety for our students in their dormitories. We've upgraded several access points around campus, allowing us to upgrade our Wi-Fi software to provide for better Wi-Fi security. As most of you know, we closed all campuses last Friday due to the weather. This did not affect our students at all because they had not reported back to school. Only our offices were closed last Friday for the weather. So continuing education updates that we have women's firearms safety, which is Saturday, January the 25th. We have enhanced conceal and carry, which is Saturday, February the 1st. We have CNA classes will begin January the 27th at the TIPA Career and Technical Center, also at the Alcorn Career and Technical Center, and our dental assisting program will be January the 27th. We're continuing to process paperwork and register students for spring 2025. Our staff is working early and late hours to process all the documentation that's coming in at this time. Numbers continuing to increase. We're up about 200 students as of this time last year for the spring 24 semester. We've topped the 3,000 mark for students in this spring semester. So registration is still open for the rest of this week through the week, January the 24th. Prentice County Spelling Bee will be hosted in Hines Auditorium on January the 23rd at 6 p.m. As I mentioned, CD classes started this week, and virtual classes are going to start January the 21st. We have some facility operations updates. Of course, we did a great job. Our folks came in and did some snow cleanup. We had several of our folks to assist with those efforts in dorms across campus. And got to say, they did a great job because they came in and our streets and the boulevard and all adjoining streets to the campus were cleaned by noontime and cleared by noontime on Friday. So they were cleared and our students were able to move around, and even our pedestrians and also members of the community. Still working on our Tiger Stadium drainage project. The contractors are now working on the practice field area. Coach Billy Ward Drive is currently closed. Our Wood Hall renovation for our dorm, the contractors are moving along. The demo work, things are going well there. The bus shop renovation for the restrooms there are beginning. We had a few issues with Whitehall as students moved in for the new semester. And of course, these issues were addressed immediately. We have declared an emergency purchase for 2 new boilers in Ulysses and Cartwright Hall. So we have those things that are being taken care of. Some quick updates on their athletic programs. Basketball is back in action. This Monday they went to East Central and men and women both won. Congratulations to our men's basketball team for being ranked in the top 25 teams in the country. They're 17-0 currently. The women are 8-4, and they will host Hines Community College this Thursday evening at 5:30 and at 7:30. Our spring sports schedules are out. Baseball and softball is online. Tennis will be online very, very shortly. So we have a lot of spring activities with our athletics going on, really to begin to ramp up at the end of January and the 1st of February. So we're still moving along here at Northeast, and I got to say a shout out to all of our employees here who always do a fantastic job. And I want to say thank you to them and for the tremendous job they do. We could not be the premier institution we are without them being here. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Tigers.
Thank you for listening to this week's Tiger Talk podcast. If you or someone you know wants to further their education through academics, career and technical programs, or even continuing education and workforce, give Northeast a call at 1-800-555-2154. Tiger Talk is brought to you by Northeast Mississippi Community College. For more information about Northeast, visit www.nemcc.edu or follow the college on various social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.